I'm just on a rather secluded part and quiet part of Warsaw main pit top. It's a spot that I've been to over the years many times. Always a nice little place. Used to be full of wildflowers, but it's getting increasingly vegetated now and scrubbed over. But on part of the scrub here, there's some blackthorn, some developing blackthorn. And on the top of this is something quite interesting. Now on the top of this little blackthorn, there's this larval feeding damage here. Roundish blotches, one or two, occasionally more on a leaf, are indicative of one family of moths in particular, and it's one of the case-bearing families. In this instance, Coleophoridae. They always make this distinctive feeding pattern on a wide range of trees, shrubs and plants. If you see these, quite often these older mines go whitish or silvery, so they're very easy to tell. And quite often, if you turn the leaf either open or round, the culprit that made these can often be found underneath. And this is a beautiful case. It's also a distinctive case as well, and I can immediately narrow it down to two species that make a case like this in Nottinghamshire. The two species are Coleophora violacea and Coleophora potentillae, and both were the subject of a video that I did on similar feeding signs at the beginning of 2022. I can't remember which one it turned out to be, whether it was violacea or whether it was potentillae, but I can tell you the species which has made these, and indeed constructed this elaborate case. Now the cases are made out of a fragment of leaf which is cut out by the larva. The larva then wraps that piece of leaf around itself, fastens it with silk, and in the case of the two Coleophora in question here, it then continues to adorn the case with a number of leaf fragments, producing the conspicuous and characteristic larval case that you can see here. Now, the difference between the two moths, you need to really dissect them and have a look at the genitalia, but as in the case of many micromoths, if you look at the feeding signs or the larval cases in most instances, but especially the leaf lines, you can often avoid the need to get the scalpel and microscope out. Now, the two species in question, Coleophora violacea and Coleophora potentillae, make visually identical mines apart from one difference. And that difference is that Coleophora violacea, although feeding on the underside of the leaf, the larva in the process of mining the leaf actually pierces both the lower and upper epidermis of the leaf. So if you look from above, you will see an obvious round puncture mark, usually just under 1 millimeter in diameter. There are no such upper surface puncture marks here, which means that this little larva, through the powers of deduction, is Coleophora potentillae. It's only pierced and mined these leaves from the underside, it's not gone right through. So that's an easy way to tell the two species. It's not very often that I find these. They mine a wide range of trees, woody shrubs and plants, often turning up on bramble. This one was chosen a straggly little bit of blackthorn here on Morsop Main Pit Top. And I'm glad it has, because it's the first time that this species has been recorded here.